So you gotta, just don't look at the superficial, appearances. You gotta see what's the substance of the protest, but the people don't do that here.
So what do you see happening? Because look at the American with her wars abroad and her funding color revolutions and her constant development of weaponry and her bribing of the nations, and also with the nations rising up and rejecting her, especially with RCEP, the new Asian economic deal that was just signed. What do you see happening, especially as China forges ahead technologically, economically, and militarily? Do you see a conflagration or war between America and China?
Well, a hot war, I don't think so. It's not in the offering, at least anytime soon. Now, the thing about, the way I see the world today, the major contradiction in the world today is between U.S. imperialism and the sovereign nations of the world, right? And we try to forge, as an imperialist state, we try to enlist, these surrogates, as allies. We try to bribe them and install our allies in power. But those who resist, and I don't care if they're theocrats like in Iran or oligarchs here or there, or revolutionaries of one stripe or another. That's for themselves to sort out. But the thing is, the major contradiction in the world today is between U.S. imperialism and the sovereign states of the world that stand up against, its depredations. So therefore, you see these states like Russia today, its ideology, if it has one, is Russian Orthodox, right? It's gone back to, sort of the imperial mindset. The Russian Orthodox Church is very influential, traditional values, Russian nationalism, and all of that. Iran is a Shiite theocracy, with the mullahs in control. They execute atheists. I'm an atheist. Why the hell would I support the mullahs in Iran? And China, they're secular communist, socialist communists, right? Ideologically, they're very, very disparate, right? But that's not the major contradiction in the world today. Russia, China, Iran, that's a triumvirate because, their interests, their national interests coincide. And the major principle of Chinese foreign policy is not to interfere in the internal affairs of other nations. It's up to the Iranian people, it's up to the Russian people to decide their own destiny. It's not up to China to tell them how to run their affairs. But since they have these mutual interests, in resisting, U.S. imperialism, they form a natural alliance. So I support Iran, I support Russia. It's up to themselves to, sort out their own internal affairs. That's none of my concern, I support China to the hilt because what they're doing is amazing. Eliminating, abject poverty, raising up a burgeoning middle class, building out infrastructure, on every front. What's amazing to me is that you look at progressives in this country and what they're supposedly fighting for, right? China's doing it all, and they don't get any credit for doing what they're doing, which I find to be, I find it to be really depressing that people who call themselves leftists in this country, they should be looking at China and saying, my God, they're doing everything that we want to do here, in terms of alternative energy, in terms of Green New Deal, in terms of eliminating poverty, in terms of supporting education and healthcare and on and on and on. I mean, everything that you can imagine, is being done, there that we want to see be done here. But we have this propaganda machine that generates these false narratives about what's going on in Hong Kong and Xinjiang and elsewhere in China, which does not reflect the reality on the ground. It just doesn't. These are just totally fabricated, tall tales, basically. The CIA and its surrogates, what is it? NED, you're familiar with the NED, right?
Yes.
Which is just, basically the public face of the CIA. And then you have all these NGOs like Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International. There's a revolving door between the State Department and all these human rights NGOs.
Yes.
So they're just, again, they're a surrogate, for the U.S., State Department. And they go in and they recruit these dissidents, and then they just lie, cheat, and steal. Just like what Pompeo said. Remember his famous quote, right? Oh, we lie, we cheat, we steal. We have whole classes in how to go about doing that. Well, he spilled the beans. I mean, so what they're talking about in Xinjiang is just a total bunch of lies. That's their stock and trade.
Well,